Valentine's Day is getting closer, so that means it's time for rom-coms. Hello everyone, I'm Jay Mayer and welcome to my review of Anyone But You. And it is the new romantic comedy film directed by Will Gluck, starring Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell in the main roles. And this film is about two people in their 20s, B and Ben. But we really focus on the character of B, Beatrice. It's a character played by Sydney Sweeney, and when we first meet B in the film, she's at a point where she's overthinking her decisions in life. She just broke up with her boyfriend, someone she was with for many years, and she's considering quitting her education as a law student because she is a law student but she does not really want to do that anymore. So that's where we meet B. And at this point, B stumbles upon a guy, Ben. And this character is played by Glenn Powell. And these two, when they first meet, they have an amazing time. An amazing, great first date. You can really tell these two are made for each other. But then something happens and they really can't stand each other anymore. They kinda hate each other. They cannot be in the same room anymore. So that's about it. But then, some time later, their mutual friends are getting married. So these two people meet up again in Australia where the wedding is taking place. So that's your story. And it's basically a very common story in this genre of the romantic comedy. And the main question here in this movie is this movie actually a good comedy? Because in recent years we don't really have a lot of great comedies anymore. And I'm someone who really likes a good comedy. I can really enjoy a great funny comedy. And I grew up in the 2000s, so I really saw a lot of raunchy 2000 comedies like the American Pie movies or Superbad, to name a few. Those are the comedy movies I grew up with. Those are my kind of comedy movies. Those are movies that I think are hilarious. And the question here is Anyone But You a good comedy movie? I would say yes. I actually had a very good time watching this film. There are some sequences, 3 or 4 sequences, that I really believe are hilarious, that I really had to laugh. And I did not really expect that I had to laugh out loud in this movie, but it happened. For instance, one of those sequences that I really had to laugh with was the whole sequence in the plane. I thought that was very hilarious. And some other sequences were very hilarious, but other sequences were not really anything funny. They were just characters, these relatives, friends, just interacting with each other and not always funny. And also not every joke in this movie lands. But still, I had a great time with this movie. I had to laugh a couple of times, so I would say for a comedy movie, it is a success. And what really makes this comedy movie work are the two characters, B and Ben. Those are really funny characters, especially B. Beatrice, is the character that makes this movie hilarious. And she's played perfectly by Sydney Sweeney, an actress that I really like. She's really making a name for herself lately. I know her from Euphoria. I know she can do really dramatic roles, and now I have seen her in something comedy, and she's also really good in the comedy works. And I always say when an actor is both good in drama as in comedy, you have a great actor, and I believe Sydney Sweeney is a great actor. I'm really looking forward to what this young actress is going to do next. This year we're gonna see her in a superhero movie and in a horror movie, so really looking forward to seeing that. But back to Anyone But You. She was great in this movie. I really thought she was hilarious. B is a very funny character, and B is that kind of character that you really want to root for, you support for her, you really want all the best for this character. And Sydney Sweeney really has a talent for comedy. And the other character, Ben is a character for me. He started off a bit boring. He was not really that funny at the start of the movie. I thought he was a bit dull, but he gets better. Towards the end of the movie, you are also really rooting and supporting for Ben as well. And I have to say, Glenn Powell also making a name for himself. I know him from the TV show Scream Queens, you remember that? He was in there as well. Lately we also saw him Top Gun Maverick and Devotion. And he really has good chemistry with Sydney Sweeney, so Glenn and Sydney really make this movie work. And another plus that I can give this movie, and also something that I was not expecting from this movie, is the movie is raunchier than I expected it to be. There is some level of raunchiness in this movie. Not much, but there is a certain level of raunchiness, and I really like that. It elevated the movie to a higher comedy level for me, because I really like raunchiness in my comedy movies. And also they are a bit explicit in certain areas, especially in nudity. There was some nudity in this movie as well, but it's all functional, it makes sense, so it can be in this movie as well. It works. So, and in general, that is just a comedy movie that gave you a really good time, a good feeling, and I think that was the point of this movie, to give you a good time, a good feeling. The only negative I have about this movie is on the plot. It's a bit, we have seen this before, it's nothing new story-wise. All things that we have seen in other movies, comedy movies have done it before, a bit differently, with a different approach, but it's always the same story, so it's nothing new, but again, if it's done good, done perfectly, it can still be an entertaining movie. And that is what this movie is. Anyone But You is a really nice little comedy film that you really should check out, and it's an ideal movie, I believe, for the Valentine's Day, so you can really check out this movie if you want to see a movie on Valentine. This is a good movie for it. So these were my thoughts on the movie Anyone But You. Hope you liked my review. Always be free to share your thoughts on this movie below in the comments. Would love to read those. And if you want to see more reviews of me in the future, always be free to subscribe to my channel. And till the next time.